Marc Guéhi is going to Manchester City. The deal is done. Fabrizio Romano has come out with the here we go. Florian Plettenberg has come out with the deal done. Everything is absolutely done for the English centre-back, Marc Guéhi. Now, why does this make sense for Marc Guéhi? And that is what we are here to talk about. Because, of course, Fabrizio Romano comes out and gives us the news. Florian Plettenberg comes out and gives us the news. But we at Pillar Sports will tell you the reasons why it makes sense for Marc Guéhi to go to Manchester City, or why it makes sense for Manchester City to actually want Marc Guéhi and actually see how it works out for both parties. Now, before we go into the reasons why they want Marc Guéhi, we have to look at what Manchester City have paid for Marc Guéhi. The exact transfer fee for Marc Guéhi is £26 million guaranteed to Crystal Palace, £3 million in a potential add-on. We are looking at 18 million in salary gross per year, including bonuses, and the medical and signing are expected to be completed within 2 to 4 days. And this is from Florian Plettenberg, one tier 1 reporter that we all know. Now, the key part about this situation is that Marc Guéhi in the summer was going to be leaving Crystal Palace for free. We know this. His contract was running out in June, and it would have been Bayer, Sayonara, Segobe, I see you later for absolutely free. So Steve Parish bit the hand. He bit the option. He bit the money, and he is getting 26 million in guarantee and 3 million in the potential add-ons. Now, the potential add-ons in my mind is going to be something that he is going to achieve because it's 3 million. However, Crystal Palace are losing their captain. They are losing their captain, and we know this for a fact. It's not just a situation where he's going, but it's a situation that they have a huge Marc Guéhi type hole in the middle of the park. Now, don't get me wrong, Crystal Palace have proven to be able to replace players in a very swift manner. We saw Olise go to Bayern Munich, and they brought Ismaila Sarr, and Ismaila Sarr has done a really good job so far this season. They were able to recruit Mateta when nobody knew who Mateta was. They have Nunes in there, where Nunes is absolutely tearing up the Premier League. In fact, he might be the best right back or left back, whatever situation he's playing in the league right now as we speak. So I know Crystal Palace has what it takes to replace Marc Guéhi. But now, talking about Manchester City. Manchester City have gotten in Marc Guéhi. They have gotten someone with European exposure with Crystal Palace. They have gotten someone with peak. He's in his peak offender that is going to be entering his elite years in the next year or so. Manager leaving, and the project, of course, is resetting for Crystal Palace. Marc Guéhi has basically outgrown Crystal Palace, and the next step is here. The next step is execution. The next step is going to Manchester City. The next step is winning trophies. And that is what Manchester City is going to give him. Now, Manchester City has done this already. The deal is done. We have gotten the here we go. But what does Manchester City give Marc Guéhi? What does he get? Because this is Manchester City are going to be getting an elite defensive IQ. Somebody that understands how to defend, the basics of defense through and through. Elite defense IQ, comfort defending huge spaces, press resistance under pressure, leadership without chaos. He is that. He is that man. He's a trustworthy man. He is a Christian man. Control first, duels second, and of course the personality comes on third. Because don't get me wrong, Marc Guéhi loves to give you goals when it comes to set pieces. So what is in Marc Guéhi does? This is a perfect fit for me. He likes a centre-back that understands and has the ability to go to the left centre-back position, the right centre-back position, and maybe even the left-back position. And guess what Marc Guéhi can do? All three. Someone that is comfortable is stepping into midfield zones. Guess what Marc Guéhi can do? Step into the midfield zone. Excellent in recovering as a defender. Marc Guéhi's pace is good enough to replace what they lost in Kyle Walker. He doesn't need to lead in a loud format. He's exemplary by what he does, and that is how he leads. Pep Guardiola understands that this is a perfect fit for his style of play, a perfect fit for who he wants in a centre-back. He's not just a block kind of defender. He's somebody that you would like to a structure with him in it. So what do we need to look at in the terms of Crystal Palace view? Of course, this is not a betrayal because everybody knew that he was going to leave Crystal Palace next summer. Everybody knew that. But they were also pressed because he was leaving on a free. And that was also a problem for Crystal Palace. And so now this is a perfect medium. Because in Crystal Palace perspective, they have maximized his value. They could have sold him last season to Liverpool for more money. They could have. That'll be last summer. The captain leaves with a legacy intact in my mind because he not only played and was a perfect servant for them, he gave them the FA Cup title because he was an FA Cup winning captain. The funds can be reinvested before the rebuild begins. You can take the money now and go find a centre-back that will do you justice for the end of the season because you have a full rebuild waiting for you in the summertime. You get me? Glasner leaving already is signs of a new circle about to happen. It's signs of a new circle. And that right there is crucial for Crystal Palace. Now moving to the England angle, because we need to also understand what is the angle that comes with Marc Guéhi moving to City for England international team. For England, for a fact is, it puts Marc Guéhi in a title pressure environment. That would not only open his brain into understanding the big moments and being able to step up in the big moments better. I'm not saying he doesn't know how to step up now. I'm saying he's going to be able to know what the pressure is and how to actually be elite because you're working with Pep Guardiola, one of the best to ever do it. Improves his case for a long-term centre-back for England. As he's going to City right now, just as John Stones was, he probably is the first name on the clean sheet when it comes to England. And it's sad for me to say because I am a United fan through and through. But that is the role that City has to play. Because right now, or in yesteryear, Manchester United, if you were the first centre-back in Manchester United and you were English, you were probably the centre-back of choice for England. Courtesy Rio Ferdinand. Now, we have City taking that role. We have John Stones, but John Stones is always injury prone and we know that for a fact. So Marc Guéhi is the next in line for that situation. It also raises his tactical ceiling and his tactical knowledge, not just a regular open anymore. He is going to be levels above what we've seen him to be. England don't need, of course, another good defender. They need now elite defenders that are training in elite systems that could absolutely give Thomas Tuchel all that they deserve. Sixth one is kind of when you look at what is the risks, what are he's going to be facing, that this move is going to be facing, and I'm going to keep it honest. City minutes are not guaranteed because you have Diaz, you have Gvardiol, you have Ake, you have Kozunov, you have the other guy that has just went out on loan. These are all centre-backs, and centre-backs that are really good, to be honest. But competition is also going to be ruthless. And so if Marc Guéhi cannot cut it, it is going to be a problem. One bad adaptation window and the narrative can flip. The narrative can flip way that we would start seeing Marc Guéhi in a different light. But the upside, there is always an upside. Daily with the best defensive structure in Europe. If we know for a fact is that Pep Guardiola can put a defensive team where they do not concede much goals. Tactical education absolutely guarantee that he starts anywhere else, everywhere else. Elite players choose growth over comfort. And that is what he's choosing here by going to Manchester City. And of course, we know that's fact. But now we understand that Crystal Palace, the manager is leaving, the captain is leaving. Crystal Palace are entering a stage that is a planned reset. You cannot let this team collapse. You just cannot let this team collapse because it would be sacrilegious for Steve Parish to have this great of a side and let them go to the wayside without maximizing on what he has. He has won the FA Cup, but you can win the Europa League. You can win the Conference League. You can be European champions. And that is what this team can offer you. Now, what do we get from this video? And what does Crystal Palace and Marc Guéhi get by Marc Guéhi the right age? He's probably going to the right club, and he's now going to be sitting in the right football education. This is how top defenders are made. This is how top defenders become elite. That right there is Marc Guéhi. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the follow button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.